wolves, bears, and snow.
That bear ain't never spoke English, but he's never said, whoa, 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 whoa.
That bear say,
S-X-Y. My fault, I hold
No,
you.
you're okay.
I hold you. And today, hold up. And today, we got dogs that will send you the dog backwards. I saw what you did there. Off rip.
ooh.
I feel like this would be a pretty good react because I've stated in an animation before, don't think there's a dog that kills me 10 times out of 10. I have stated it's possible for me to be killed by a big. It has to be one of them like steroid dogs though. But this, although it is massive, although it would dismember me, all of that. Killing me 10 times out of 10, I just simply disagree. There is a universe where I beat this in a fight to the death. There is. I don't think that's crazy. Isaiah, I leaked your name, my fault. Bro, you definitely got to hop on the stream, bro. You would be a funny ass.
Dogs that would take the leash off and walk you. Because a lot of y'all have gotten way
That's not happening.
too
That would
confident.
happen in IRL, but
Yeah, but like if it's a fight to the death.
yeah,
I've said it before, but one way to see how a guy's mind works is to ask him, what's the biggest animal you could beat in a fight?
And the thing is, I don't think that crazily about other animals. Like an ostrich is killing me. Like I have massive respect for animals, and I don't think I'm crazy. But hey, the concept of a dog is just where you lose.
And if you want to see how highly he thinks of himself, ask him, what's the
here.
biggest animal you could beat in a fight? And if you want to see
All right, where do you cap out? Where do you cap out?
it depends. Am I on land or water?
All these are on land, bro.
Oh.
I think it's very obvious where everyone caps out.
One-on-ones?
Yes, very obvious. Stanley, don't piss me off, bro.
I got a rat. I got a house cat. I got goose.
Yes.
Medium dog.
Yes.
Eagle for sure. Large dog. I think I'm banging with a chimpanzee. I think.
See how highly he thinks
look,
of him.
look, that's where you lose me.
I think that's a 7 out of 10.
10 times out of 10 a chimpanzee. 10 times out of 10 a chimpanzee.
Okay. So you think you could kill a king cobra?
Yes. I don't
See?
like the,
See?
no. Wait.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait.
That's what you're not understanding.
No. The
That's what I'm
order of this list,
understanding.
the order of this list is crazy. Cause
Now the order of
chimpanzee,
the list is crazy.
no, look. Chimpanzee is beating a king cobra. Chimpanzee is beating a kangaroo. Chimpanzee is beating a wolf. Chimpanzee should be right here. I don't know why they have.
I don't know if a chimpanzee is being a king cobra.
A chimpanzee is most definitely beating a king cobra.
I don't know that.
Chimps are like 3-4 times stronger than us, smaller, more agile. It's gonna cling
Than
onto your
us?
face and bite your face off.
I'm not letting it do that.
See,
I think I got kangaroo. I got wolf. I got crocodile. Gorilla by myself is testy, but you already know my strat. I think once you get down past crocodile, really once you get to wolf, it's strategy that's winning.
This
Is what I'm saying.
This
even a little bit with the chimpanzee too. You're not killing an elephant. OD killing an elephant. Lion is where you start messing with me because now it has a lot of advantages. And then grizzly bear is a toss up in the air.
And this is why I hate reacting with you, because I'm trying to be sensible, and you're over here telling people that you'll beat a freaking grizzly bear in a
I'm being
fight.
so dead ass.
And it also,
No, I didn't say grizzly bear.
also, his delusion completely devalues my points, and now I'm stuck.
I'm just bringing it to cognitive.
Shut up. What's good, small fries?
himself, ask him, what's the biggest dog he could take down? Or if there's even one alive that he couldn't. TikTok has taught me a majority of y'all are KOing anything canine. Allegedly. Now in their defense, there's over 350 breeds of dogs and the average man is bodying most of them. Dogs are built for friendship, some quite literally, and they're descended from a pack hunter who really isn't about the one-on-ones. Plus, dogs have one real way of delivering damage, and
That's it. It's just
unless they have the size to make up for it, most dogs can't go band for band with the average man. The thing about size. Some canines are
No, I'm saying 10 times out of 10, this isn't killing me though.
Yeah, nah.
10 times. There is a universe where in a fight to the death, I could beat this. Am I saying it's going to be often? No. But I don't think this is 10 times 10. I don't think it's killing me 10
Nothing
times out of
with
10.
carnival drumsticks for legs is killing
are
me.
big enough to take you off the registry. Once dogs hit that 140 to 150 pound range, they go from a loud inconvenience to something whose free will could potentially put you in a dirt motel. Bigger than that, and you got the kind of dog where every breath you
And also, the hair is making these look way
Yeah, that's
bigger
what I'm
than
saying.
they
Just because
actually
he got
are.
a trench coat on, you think I'm scared,
take
bro?
is by
That's
his
what I'm
blessing.
saying.
Real quick, this isn't to demonize any breed or inspire you to test your luck against your dog. And also, don't take this too seriously. I know Fantasy Fight Club loves hills to die on. But first we got the
Kangle.
The
Okay,
Kangle
talk to me.
Shepherd is a Turkish Fido flex bred as a livestock guardian dog against jackals, wolves, and bears.
Nah. No.
Males on average get from 110 to 150 pounds, but ask around. Someone will tell you
That joint is not fearing me, bro. Unless he's gonna use that spike as an attack, like
Bro, imagine,
bro, that
start
joint is not
arguing,
scaring
start
me,
arguing
bro.
with me like you about to fight me. Start arguing.
Bro, what, bro? You don't want no, bro. You don't want no. yeah, that's crazy.
Like,
Installing
bro.
a choker mid-fight is crazy.
Like, bro, it's not tough, bro.
Yeah,
You know what the equivalent of that is? Like an alt girl with spikes around her neck. That don't make you look scared.
I agree, bro. That
Like,
that did not add to
It don't do nothing, bro. It don't do nothing.
about their 180-pound attitude adjustment. An important distinction is that these aren't herding dogs. They're guarding dogs. The canine insurance policy pretty much are part of the herd, and any predators that flock around very quickly find out. Kangles will defend theirs in any situation, and while the cellmate or Cerberus prefers intimidation, they'll catch a clean body if it gets there. The catch is, since Kangles are built to defend the defense,
Yo, it fights bears. Does it kill bears? Does it win those fights? Just because it's crazy enough to fight against a bear.
I fight bears.
Bro, if you put a Kangle and a bear in a room, the Kangle's getting cooked. Like, what are we talking about? Okay, I'm not saying I'm fighting a bear. This is where he loses me. This is where he completely... Did you just tank a punch from a bear?
Yeah, that shit kind of got some kickback.
Bro, you... Alright.
list, they're unironically really good with children. But with a temper more trigger-happy than the state of Texas, nothing steps to a member of a Kangle's herd without getting read in an obituary. Apparently, some Kangles have snapped at their owners for getting too close to their own sheep. With Kangles having the strongest bite of any dog at an alleged 743 pounds per square inch, a snap from a helicopter
That hoe is definitely like just biting your arm completely off with no resistance, though.
Horsehound hits much different. They're so protective, they even protect some of the predators they were hired against. In Namibia, ranchers and cheetahs share an area code, and in a world where a dead cow can set your entire family back, many cheetahs become chalk outlines in the name of asset protection. But having Kangles and Anatolians on site, which as far as I understand are Americanized Kangles, the cheetahs get run off by canine conflict resolution before the ranchers have to reach for a permanent solution. The Kangle option actually reduced cheetah trappings and killings by 80%, and in some places they're providing the same deterrent service to wolves. So all in all, they're still a good dog, just not for everyone. And not just because they need space, experience, and most importantly a purpose, they need discipline, because gentle parenting means Turkish Tank rips your arm out of the socket the first time he sees a squirrel.
I agree. Caucasian
This
Shepherd.
fluffy boulder would send you back to the mountains they
Can't lose
spawned
to
from,
anything
forged in the
Caucasian.
mountains
It's
of
just the principle. It's just the principle. I can't lose to anything Caucasian. It's
Oh,
just
wait,
the principle.
no.
Caucasus. The Caucasian Shepherd is also called the Russian Bear Dog, even though they're not Russian, and you're liable for a lecture if you call them that in front of the wrong person. They also weren't bred to hunt bears. They're also livestock life insurance. It's just that calorie blocking a bear might
Like, bro, he's losing this fight. Just because he's crazy enough to step up to it doesn't mean he's winning this fight.
Sometimes standing your ground all 30 is what it really is about.
Yeah, literally,
You know what I'm
literally.
saying?
And that's what I'm trying to say.
And that's why I
if
think I
you
can have
go,
the edge.
if you go into the fight thinking I'm gonna lose because it's a Kangle, you're gonna lose.
You're gonna lose.
You're gonna lose.
And that's what I'm saying. If you go into the fight, oh, I'm gonna lose because it's a gorilla, you're gonna lose. They
No,
both have the ability to be scared.
No.
They both have the ability to be scared.
I'm talking about confidence. He's talking about complete delusion.
They get scared. Animals have emotions and feelings.
Yes. No, I agree. If there's a chance where if you at a bear, it's gonna run away. I'm not saying that, but we're talking about like an actual fight.
The bear thinks I'm bigger than it,
Okay, but you're not bigger than it though.
but it doesn't know that.
Sure.
So
Let it
my-
find out.
might just come with a job description. The blow-dry Tasmanian Devil comes in two forms, the longer-coated mountain type and the shorter-coated steppe version. The mountain brand are the big boys, and usually the ones that can get to over 200 pounds. And I promise you, you are not choking out a Wolverine on creatine with war experience. The dog, also called the ovcharka, was used in World War II as Soviet Union guards that would gatekeep Soviet gulags. So they might not send you there, but they'll keep you in its custody. So even though they didn't originate in Russia, before the Soviet Union developed an atomic bomb, they mobilized a furry nuke in the form of Fido. Also, a good amount would patrol the Berlin Wall, and after the wall came down and the dogs were adopted out, many of the veterans would suddenly remember their orders whenever near the past tense wall and would robotically walk in obedience to a wall that wasn't there. So yeah, folks messed around and created an absolute unit of a sleeper agent, and it isn't until you have about 200 pounds of dog resisting your will that you realize what the amounts of Caucasus were cooking. There's a reason this domesticated bear is used in Russian prisons. Imagine packs of ovcharkas roaming the city of Berlin at the expense of anyone unlucky enough to run into them. Well, you don't need imagination. For one of the dogs next, it's a reality. This is honestly
The Cane Corso is definitely like, of the other two, this is the one I beat the most, I think. I'm not going to lie. Because the fur is not there to distract me. It doesn't make it look a lot bigger.
Hate to do it to my own kind, but got to put the hands on it.
Oh, because the skin tone?
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to agree. Now I just look like a dickhead.
That was your fault because it was my joke that you flipped to your
I
joke.
thought the joke was like, oh, I'm a dog. I thought that was the joke. Man!
I am a dog, though.
When it comes to these dogs, I got a bone to pick.
I know you thought that was impressive.
I love causing pain because I ain't chicken when it comes to this dog. I'll really raise a cane.
Raise a cane, raise. Okay.
Talk to me. Man!
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Tight.
You messed me up.
All right, no, for sure.
See, the first place my mind went after hearing about the man versus dog debate. You tell him to sit, he looks at you like this. What is your
Me against a dog, it's not a hard play. I'll have a canine falling on 4 legs like I lost my Where like he lost his parlay. My gun's silent. It don't be making sounds. Cause when I up this AK, 9 bullets gonna take a dog and we'll really be digging in the ground.
I done did so much to every single dog. When the police catch me, I'm doing all of the time. Pound to a dog. Have the bullets munch through this K about 9. Hold on.
Okay.
Have the bullets munch through the K about, I forgot my bar.
next move? Daikujo decides to climb on your couch where he knows he's not allowed. What is your vehicle of retribution? I pray it's not a rolled up newspaper. He gonna make you a small section of the next one. Latin is like a linguistic black light that tells the full story of a word, and when you shine it on Cane Corso, canis is dog.
Me and dog, you know I'm a rage. Beat that bitch into submission. Make him into a Danish sausage.
I don't know what that was, but clip that.
Yeah. Mango, man, I'll take gold. Put it on a dog's head. I move like a pharaoh. See, I kill dogs, but Mango, he kills perros. Cause like
That's how you say dog in Spanish. Also.
Corso or cohors refers to guard, specifically a military guard dog. Corsos, or actually Corsi, are kind of the guard dog, and they're descended from ancient Roman war dogs known as Canis pugnax. For Corsi, the Italian Mastiff would attack enemy lines in battle with buckets of flaming, scalding hot oil strapped to their backs. Fun fact, in my culture, cani is the name of a spice you put on dishes, and to me it's all good, but to someone who's never had it before or doesn't know how to handle it, it can be an overseasoned assault on the senses. Same story with the uber black of dogs. Handle them wrong and they're a one-way trip straight to Valhalla. And with many over 120 pounds, I do believe every...
Are you over 120 pounds? I'm over 120. Are you over 200 pounds?
Yes.
I'm over 200 pounds. Are you above 6'3"?
I am.
No, I'm not above 6'3", but I'm close.
You are.
Yeah, with shoes on. So it's like, bro, that's not killing me, bro.
Every conscious breath you take is with their consent. Again, they're guard dogs that protect their pack, and within it, they're docile family dogs that you can trust with the kids. But the same dog that can tear a wild boar in half like a phone book would absolutely turn you into coffin fodder in a fight. This might be the
This adorable ass
I was
dog.
gonna say this might be the softest one.
This is the cutest one I've seen.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Are you serious?
Where is it from?
Bro, say you swear to God.
What's that flag from?
What flag?
Like, go back.
absolutely turn you into coffin fodder in a fight.
What is that?
I couldn't
Greece?
tell you. I could not tell you, bro.
Paraguay.
Bro, this dog gets as big as 110 pounds. Are you gonna look up the average height there or something?
This might be the most underrated dog out here. First time I saw one, I
Someone said Canary Islands.
genuinely thought it was a customized cane, and while they look similar at up to and often over 140 pounds, the Bressa Canario somehow tankier than the canine Italian stallion. Don't get it twisted, the Spanish
Put it on your life, bro.
And then it look like he make a good carpet.
Put it on your life that's killing me, bro. Are you serious? Mind you, look how this is a small woman and she looks decently sized compared to these dogs, bro.
I really feel like it's the angles. Like you take a good picture at me, like at a good angle like that, I'll look like 6'8".
Yeah, no, the low high angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. Take a picture of the dog like that. Come on,
Mastiff
bro.
off the Canary Islands is
And
404.
once again, spikes on the neck, bro.
Foreign most men. They just might have been brought over by Spanish conquistadors, and they
A 10 hut ass dog, bro. I don't
were
want
admired
this
for their
boy.
intelligence, toughness, and like a fitted sheet they won't fold. But they were also bred specifically to exterminate wild or stray dogs. And that's something I'm gonna touch on later, because LGDs like Ovchakas, they're not meant to murk predators, just discourage them. They bred the Presa Canario to erase other dogs. That's basically a canine assassin. The hired gun was also a reoccurring character in dogfighting rings, even after it was criminal.
Okay, but he's fighting other dogs. And what are the dog rings for? What are they ran by? Humans.
My dumb ass was about to say dogs. My dumb ass was about to say dogs. No, because I thought you were asking who was running that mo. Like who was running that mo. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Criminalized. Because of this, the pride of the Canary Islands almost went extinct in the 60s. Luckily,
Okay.
a breed society, Club Español de Presa Canario, was formed, and they came up with a breed standard. The standard was approved in
Get the fuck about my door. I could give a fuck about Stanley. Yeah, that boy's a whore. I could really count all this fucking money. I got Chris Dior. Best believe I'm about to go ahead and put the money all his fucking head. Let him hit the floor. I'm gonna make a body. I could give a fuck. You know I got a shotty. I'm about to stat that boy just like he. I almost said a name. Bro. Jesus Christ. I almost said some crazy shit. I'm not.
What's
gonna
up with
lie.
you, bro?
in 1989, and the Presa Canario was recognized as the official dog of the Canary Islands. The goal was to help the Presa make a comeback, and today they're still going strong. They have
They need help coming back. Like, bro, you're not.
a lifespan that can last over a
This is actually a bad one. This is actually dead ass a bad one.
decade, despite all the nerfs that come with being a big dog. Which means we're talking about the dog that has fought its own kind, its own biology, and literal extinction. Not the type I want to start problems with. Now let the record show that the muscle of Canary is the equivalent of a canine wet wipe around family, but any burglars getting blacklisted from the census.
See, Tibetan Mastiff is good comp. Tibetan Mastiff is good
Once
comp.
upon a time, a zoo in China caught heat for trying to pass off a dog as an African lion. Oh, it didn't last long, and they were for sure wrong, but when you squint at a
actually
Tibetan
funny.
Mastiff,
No, you're blind. You're legally blind if you can squint and see a lion, bro.
you see the inspiration.
I don't. That's a furry dog. Does that look like a lion to you?
I can see it.
Other than the mane, other than because
It's
with
just-
that logic.
The oldest dog breeds alive, and they were used to protect Buddhist monasteries and Tibetan monks from apex threats like wolves, bears, and snow leopards. Traditionally, the
Is that a bear standing on twos?
hound of the Himalayas was from apex threats like wolves, bears, and snow
That bear ain't never spoke English, but he's never said whoa, 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 whoa.
That bear say.
apex threats like wolves, bears, and snow.
Oh! The headphones flew off and landed on the bottom. That was crazy.
has to have at least given me like 2 points of aura.
Yeah, that's word. That's word. That's word. That's word.
Snow leopards. Traditionally, the hound of the Himalayas would sleep all day and patrol the villages at night. So if you take in a Tibetan Mastiff, you may find their habits nocturnal. They're built different. I'm talking genetically.
See, and mind you, this is a big Tibetan Mastiff. This is not
Yeah.
a no normal to like. This isn't normal.
Yeah.
Sequence
That's
abnormally.
not fair.
Back in the day, Tibetan Mastiffs were bred with Tibetan wolves because the dogs have a special protein that helps red blood cells carry oxygen 50% more efficiently. This mutation does not appear in other dogs, but you do see it in the Tibetan subspecies of gray wolf, which is why the sentient hair salon pile can survive such a high altitude. It's not hard to see how a full-grown literal Clifford can send wolves running. And that's what I wanted to mention. These are guardian dogs, not attack dogs. They don't want you dead, necessarily, just gone. They're not out here looking for smoke, and if you have one, you'll find that the most dangerous thing about them is the constant slaughtering can be a slip hazard. But there's a catch. The Tibetan Mastiff wasn't just insurance, they were a status symbol, especially in China. One named Big Splash sold for $1.5 million, so they can ruin you
Damn!
physically and financially.
That's it.
So it could buy me. It just can't beat my ass.
Last time I spent 1.5 on something, it was an investment. You gotta understand that. You know what I'm saying? You don't stop putting your money into a dog and put it into your dog.
Stanley,
Tell them what I did for you last week.
we were broke in my apartment not even a month ago.
Tell them what I did for you last week, though.
The reason we started SXY was because we both had under $100 in our bank accounts, and I'm not even joking.
But tell them what I did for you last week.
You bought me Panda Express.
The problem is, like all
You said pay me back.
as the TM hype faded fast, and the outcome was more abandoned mastiffs than anyone knew what to do with. Except the dogs. The Tibetan persuasion started forming feral packs where they've killed livestock, hunted native Borbull sheep, and even attacked ancient enemies like snow leopards, bears, and now even humans. Now we've got thousands of feral Uber dogs roaming the Tibetan plateau, making life air-conditioned hell for snow leopards and putting paws and jaws in any people that happen to cross their paths. It's basically what happened to pigeons in America, but I've never seen a pigeon lil bro a wolf. I don't know what's with all the videos of Tibetan Mastiffs and wolves in the same place, but I have not seen one where the dog doesn't completely bully the albeit smaller Asian wolves. And speaking of wolves, at least the wild ones are afraid of humans. We genetically engineered a weapon of mass destruction.
I saw what you did there.
It's completely our fault. Mastiffs in general are a canine flex. They'll have you mad stiff.
That was good. I like that.
As in rigor mortis, the bull mastiff looks like a sweetheart that could genuinely bench press your family. The
That nigga can't even bench press me. I have more muscle than that dog.
I ain't gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, bro,
mortis, the bull mastiff.
just because you don't look as muscular as this dog doesn't mean I'm not as muscular as this dog.
Take the shirt off. Let's go.
Mastiff looks like a sweetheart that could genuinely bench press your family. The Neapolitan Mastiff was literally built on honey badger principles. Unclamped, they can always turn around and face their problems. But it also makes them look like a victimized pizza pie, cheese sliding right off. But we can't forget the English Mastiff.
I will say,
one of the
that makes it harder to beat because now I don't know where I'm necessarily grabbing
Yeah,
at.
exactly. But like that's even like, bro.
few dogs that could successfully maul a wolf. For reference, the beast from Sandlot
Oh, I remember this movie. Oh my god, he did look scary as hell in this movie, but they were children.
was an English
Did you watch this movie? This is a classic.
Mastiff, and the record for the heaviest dog is held by Ika Mazorba, an English stiffy weighing 343 pounds. And of course, we can't forget my favorite Mastiff, and honestly,
I was more of an Air Bud.
Airbud, nah.
Beverly Hills.
I'm not gonna lie.
Beverly
Sandlot.
Hills, Chihuahua.
Sandlot smooth.
No, I know.
washing.
I heard Sandlot's psychotic. I didn't know that's what you were talking about. But yeah, I'm more of an Air Bud.
Airbud was tough though. Airbud was tough.
dog,
though.
the Rottweiler. This Rizzo Hund is an easy attitude.
Dog with a blog.
That's ball knowledge. That's ball knowledge. That's ball knowledge. That's ball knowledge.
Adjustment for any man that thinks he can whoop any dog. But
Rottweiler's not killing me.
one
bro.
dog you would absolutely get worked by is
I can't even. 200 pounds is a lot.
Bell.
the Borbull is a massive 200-pound vibe check of a pet. They were bred as a South African farm dog to protect the home against threats like leopards and even baboons. Ironically, it's the baboons I'm impressed by. You see, there's a lot of stories about this farmer dog, aura, as the kids say. There's one story of a Borbull life-depriving 4 leopards in a row before losing to a 5th.
But that's one dog. That's one Borbull or whatever. Not all of them can do that, gang. That's what I'm trying to say. There's one human that's benched fucking 800 pounds. I can't bench 800 pounds. We're both human. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
I can't run as fast as Usain Bolt, so I can't say most people run as fast as Usain Bolt. That's one singular human.
Yeah, that's one.
Another story goes like this. The king
feet to all of them.
That's what I'm saying.
of Albania gifted Alexander the Great a massive Borbull, but when Alex tried to get the dog to hunt, the dog seemingly refused, so Mr. Macedon did the sensible thing and murked the dog for insolence. Until the king said the dog wasn't lazy, just bored, and that these dogs were meant to hunt big game, like elephant big. So apparently they sent a replacement, and this Borbull won Alexander over after breaking a lion's back and forcing an elephant off a cliff. Do I believe it? Absolutely not, but it helps my narrative if I pretend I do. What is true is the same
So his evidence is, hey, they said he did it.
Borbull that squares up with big cats and baboons also has the personality of a weighted blanket, unless you threaten their family, in which case they'll put you in an ashtray. They're basically a guard dog that got promoted and invited out to hunts, which is actually the opposite of the rodeo.
Bro,
Come on,
he
bro.
don't even look like he's supposed to be in the field.
Come on,
He looked like a
bro.
good kid that hopped off the porch on accident,
Come on, bro. These adorable ass dogs,
bro.
bro.
Asian
He's not
Ridgeback
meant
might
for
seem
this
like a
life.
token pick, but hear me out. They're the inverse of Borbulls. They were so good at hunting, they eventually got promoted to
Are you serious?
Now y'all are just throwing civilians in the way.
That's what I'm saying. Like
This is civilian.
I was genuinely hearing you out when you was talking about Kangles, Cane Corsos, Tibetan Mastiffs. Are you serious?
Guards with a max weight of like
Are you kidding me?
120 pounds.
120? I shoulder pressed 120. Yeah. Like, are we
The
serious?
Ridgeback is the lightest dog in this video. They get the nod because they were used to hunt lions, along with the usual suspects like wild pigs and baboons. Now I should probably explain, when I say hunt lions, I don't mean these dogs were out here giving Simba the belt to butt. There isn't a dog alive that can beat a lion. No dog exists that can 1v1 a bear, and pretty much all would get folded by a full-grown all-American Northwestern wolf. By hunting, really the Rhodesian Ridgebacks would bay the lions, not straight up attack them, but harass them, applying constant pressure until
How does that help with the 1v1 fight though?
eventually the hunters showed up. The best way I can explain it is these wolves mobbing a black bear and basically escorting him away from their pups hidden in the grass. Rhodesians more so keep the lion in one place, which is arguably just as impressive. It takes a lot of intelligence to pin a predator 5 times your size, and yeah, Ridgebacks are creepily smart. Ask around, some will even say they're human. And that's a level of intelligence I'm not trying to deal with. One thing I do love is a dog that went against literal lions is also mad sensitive. They do not respond well to harshness, and you unironically have to watch how you talk to them because they will take it personally. They're basically gifted teenagers. They're not for the discipline, so you better keep it positive. You know, I almost forgot to mention the Dogo Argentino. A mistake that would have been. Basically, a teenager in the 1920s unlocked free will and decided to create the best possible hunter dog. He took traits like the scent tracking of a pointer, the height of a Great Dane, the Pyrenean Mastiff's calm temperament, and the boxer's overall athleticism, and crossbred them with the now extinct Cordoba fighting dog. Eventually, he created an Argentinian Mastiff, and to prove its strength, he pitted his dog against a wild boar and a mountain lion, gladiator style. Only the dog made it out. And I wouldn't even believe that if it wasn't for the story of Morocho, the Dogo Argentino, allegedly killing a puma.
Battle Scars is crazy.
Huh?
Battle Scars is crazy.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure it's true. I still can't see one soloing a healthy mountain lion, but the narrative has been set. So W Morocho. They might not be the biggest, but it's an explosive cannonball of a canine athlete that could overwhelm a grown man on the right day.
This is random. Are you still beefing with that one animator that took your vids? I've never beefed with an animator a day in my life.
Tough enough to endure hours of trekking through rough terrain and still have enough juice to wrestle an animal 3 times its size. But if I ever saw this in an alley, my soul would auto-connect to the Wi-Fi in the sky. Now that's real Bluetooth. By now, you probably recognize the pattern. If a dog was bred as a livestock guardian in the mountains, it's likely the last dog you ever want issues with.
And that's why I'm gonna have to disagree with you, gang. Best chance Tibetan Mastiff, Cane Corso, Kangle, anything other than that.
I didn't see a single thing that's banging with me.
That's literally.
I didn't see a single thing.
No, they're banging. They're just not winning. But hey, man, that's gonna be the video. I hope you liked it. Be sure to check out my stuff.
Not yo-yo.
Sure, check out Stanley's stuff.
Stanley's
And that's gonna be the video.
You
We'll
heard
catch
what
at the
Donald
next one.
Trump said about them Haitians.
All right, bro.